Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Eric.
And I'm John, and welcome back to John's RC.
And today we have a special plane for you guys. This is the brand new T-7A Red Hawk from Xfly. We actually just received this jet. As a matter of fact, John hasn't even had the chance to fly this yet. We just finished building the jet. So as usual, John will talk to you guys about the specs. I will talk to you guys about the build. We'll flip the video around and John will do the maiden. So why don't you start first, bud?
So this is the T-7A Red Hawk, and it's used in the U.S. military for pilot training, and it was built to replace the T-38 Talon. It comes as a plug-and-play model, so that means you're going to have to supply yourself with your own transmitter. I'm going to be using my Spectrum NX8, your own flight battery charger, and your own receiver. Our battery of choice is an Admiral Pro 4-cell 2200 mAh battery pack. So yeah, it is a 4-channel model, so that means you're going to get your aileron control, your elevator control. For the rudder, there is no rudder on the vertical stabilizer. However, you will get a servo on the nose wheel. And of course, you'll get the EDF fan. So this is the inside of the model. As you can see, this is the receiver. The receiver that we use for this model is a Spectrum AR410, and this is where the battery goes. And we just had to do a simple XC60 to EC3 conversion. For the ESC, it is using a 40 amp ESC, and that is powering a 3300 kV brushless outrunner motor, and that's turning a 12 blade EDF 64mm fan unit. It has a wingspan of 750 millimeters, it has a length of 960 millimeters, and it has a finished weight of 1100 grams with the flight battery installed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So now my dad will talk to you about the build.
All right, well, thank you, John. That was great. So guys, this literally is a 30-minute glue and screw setup. And what I mean by that is you will have to do a combination of screwing the wings. So if you can look over here, as you can see that there are actually 4 screws that actually hold the wing down. There's 2 over here. I believe these are 3x10s. And then there's 2 over here. All of these servo wires, all these servo control horns that were already pre-installed, okay? What you do have to glue on, however, are the vertical stabilizers. Now, again, John mentioned there are no moving parts on the vertical stabilizer. So truly, this is just foam on foam. And I know that some of you are afraid to use glue. I've seen that on the feedback. But literally, all you got to do is just use medium CA foam safe glue. And all I do is I just run a line of glue on the surface of the body. And then I run a line of glue on the actual, this is the stabilizer. Hold them in place for about 30 seconds. Just let it set and let it dry. Do the same thing for the other side. On the elevators, it is the same concept. You do have to glue it on. So again, just a line of glue on one side, a line of glue on the other side. You can even use squiggly lines if you want. And then just press them together, hold for about 30 seconds, and then they'll set. And then, give it some time to make sure that they're fully dry. Don't just take it out to the flying field. Now, you do have to install the control horns for the elevator. Now, this part here is in the package, so you just have to put it inside the servo arm. And then this is using a ball link mechanism, so you will probably want to use a set of ball link pliers to get this clevis installed to this control horn over here. And then once you have the plane bound up, okay, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to keep turning left or right to make sure that these control surfaces are flush, as you can see here. Then after that, it's just a matter of bolting on the main landing gears, and the main landing gears are pretty much held on by these little 4 screws, so nothing special there. And then this front nose wheel just goes inside this hole, comes out to the other side. Now, if you take a look over here, you do have to install that little metal clamp, because that clamp is attached to the wheel, and that clamp has to be attached to the servo arm so that it can move the wheel. But other than that, guys, this was a simple build. Oh, and one more thing. John did mention we are using a 2200 milliamp hour battery, but look at the cavity inside this thing. This thing will hold between 2200 and 2600, but since we don't have 2600s, all we have are 22, so we're going to go with that. And by the way, with the 2200, it did balance out correctly with the manual stated CG. So again, piece of cake. All right, so John, good luck to you, sir, on your Maiden.
Thank you.
Hopefully we built everything correctly. We'll do some last minute checkup at the field, make sure everything is still going the right way. But other than that, this should be an easy fly for you. You have flown much more complicated just than this. So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys in the flying field.
Bye. Alright guys, I have the T-7A all plugged in and everything is functional, so looks like my ailerons are going in the right place, throttle's working, and it is texting correctly. So yeah, let's bring it out to the runway and let's see what you can do. I did put 30% expo on the ailerons and 25% expo on the elevator. And it is a bit gloomy today, so hopefully you guys can see the plane. Ooh, it looks like that steering is very sensitive. Alright, taking off. Okay, it is in the air. Looks like it's just pitching down a tad bit, so it's gliding beautifully right now. And I think I fixed the trim for sure. Maybe I should bring it a bit closer. I have to go a bit higher because one of the members is on the runway right now. So this is going to be a full throttle pass. So as you can see, it's not the fastest jet that I have, but it does have a decent amount of power. After the member gets off the runway, I'm going to be testing its aerobatic capability. Alright. So let me just do a roll right here. Wow, okay. I know. Okay, it does rolls beautifully. And let's see a loop. Not the best for looping, or not the best loop that I've done. Let me try that again. There we go. And I have like 30 seconds left, so I'm gonna start landing. Do a long approach. Nice glider. All right.
Nice timing, John.
Alright, so that was my maiden flight on the Xfly T-7A Red Hawk. It flew beautifully in the air after I got the elevator trimmed down. When I took off initially, it kind of just pitched down just a little bit, so that's something you might want to watch out for. Maybe move the battery back just a little, or change the elevator trim. But yeah, it did rolls beautifully, it did loops beautifully. For the steering, it is a bit sensitive, so maybe before you fly this, maybe you should put a little bit of Expo on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning in to John's RC. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Awesome Maiden Flight, John. Awesome Maiden Flight.
Alright, so I have the T-7A all plugged in. Again, we had a couple extra batteries, and now that I'm more warmed up to the plane, I want to see how much more I can do with it. So everything is working properly. It's taxiing correctly. Alright. Okay, taking off. This time I lessened the amount of Expo I put on the elevator. Instead of 25, I reduced it down to 15. So I get more elevator throw. We are also using a different battery. The first flight I used a Spectrum Smart battery. But this time we're using a more powerful one. The Admiral battery that we're using in this plane it has a 45C discharge rate, so the battery we used for the first flight had a 30C. Okay, let's start having some fun. Let's do a low pass.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Do a vertical, stall it, let's try some inverted flying. Hopefully I don't lose orientation. Alright. Let's do a nice loop. It sounds so good in the air.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Gonna push it towards us. Alright, landing. I don't want to risk it like last time. When I landed last time, I had like 10 seconds left on the timer. And that is very, very risky. So I have like 50 seconds left. Man, this thing just glides so nicely. Alright, so that was my second flight on the T-7A, and I was able to do a lot more with it this time, and I'm still amazed on approach. It just glides so nicely. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this plane, so thank you for tuning in to John's RC, and if you're new to this channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys!
Awesome flight, John. absolutely beautiful flight. Great job.